Hello, all my beautiful sisters from those other misters. Excuse my lisp. I'm wearing my Invisalign. I'm updating my monthly makeup basket. So this is some of the stuff that I was playing with last month, ignoring this over here. So I'm going to go through the things that I had in the makeup basket and I'm going to let you know how I felt about them. Let's start with this stuff over here. So I had 3 blushes in the project, a cream blush, which I didn't even use. So I'm going to leave this one in here for now. I also had the Essence I Want Candy Scented Blush. These are like little pearls, little balls. Very surprised. I actually really love these. I'm going to hold on to them. The colour, look, I didn't think I'd be super keen on the colour, but I actually really like it. It's kind of a mauvey pink, but it's kind of bright as well. I don't know, I really like it. It's quite pretty. This is a Milani Corallina blush. I do not like this. It's got like legit glitter in it. I don't really like having glitter on my cheeks. I don't mind a sheen or a glow, but actual glitter that sparkles and looks like speckles on the cheeks, not my thing. I'm gonna declutter it. I have the Mecca Cosmetica Illuminating drops. I only use these once and I don't really have many feels about them, so I'm gonna leave them in as well. The Colourpop My Little Pony pressed highlighters, I just don't really like them. This sort of orangey one, I don't like the way it looks on my skin texture wise, so I'm never going to use it. The pink one, which is, I don't know. Anyway, this one, I like the texture and the way it looks on the skin better, but the colour is just not really my thing. I did pop the pans out to see if I could put like some of these guys, these bigger ones in there, but the pans are actually huge. This pan is bigger than this pan, so they don't really fit. They kind of float in there. I want to get rid of these highlighters, and I think it would just be better to leave them in their packaging and see if a friend would like them. I don't want to just give my friends like fucking floating pans. It's a bit weird. So they're not going to stay. I've got a lot of highlighters. I've got more than any one person could use. And I know there's no doubt that in the future I will buy more. So there's no point in holding on to these just because of packaging and nostalgia feels. Then I have the Becca Hydro Mist Set and Refresh Powder. Now, I don't mind this. I don't think it's amazing. I kind of like the novelty of it feeling like a bit cooling and sort of damp on the skin when you initially apply it. But beyond that, there's nothing super special about this. But like, it works as a powder. It's fine. It's fine. It's just not special. I've had quite a few people tell me that the initial sort of damp, cooling feeling disappears pretty quickly once you start like using the powder. So I'm gonna hold on to it, but put it in my project pan probably after the powder that's currently in there is done. Get some use out of it. Maybe try and finish it up while it still has novelty value. Stila liquid lipsticks. So these are the what are you? Stay All Day liquid lipsticks. I have Perla, Patina, and Bachi. I'm going to get rid of them. I feel like these are, I don't know, kind of, they feel like paint on my lips, to be honest. Drying paint. I'm not really into them. I think the colors are pretty, but in terms of how often I wear matte liquid lipsticks and the type of formula that I like, these are just never going to get used. They're not. So I'm going to put them aside to declutter, and I'll also go through my drawers and see if I've got any other of these. I'm pretty sure I got rid of them all, but if I haven't, they're all going. This is a MAC fluid line in Copper Thorn. Look, this is a sick color. It's like a metallic gold. The issue with this formula is it's kind of like a flaky, sort of glittery formula. And when you try and apply it as an eyeliner, it goes on kind of patchy, a little bit sheer. You have to build it up a lot, and I can't be bothered. So I'm also going to declutter it. I didn't think I would, but I want to be realistic about the things that I have in my collection and the things I'm actually going to use. I might have a friend who wants to, you know, have a play with it and sort of experiment with something like that, but it's not for me. I know I'm not going to use it. It's really pretty. I mean, you can see it's got gorgeous reflect, but I just hate the way it looks kind of patchy and how it applies. Let's do this stuff over here. So Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette. I also had the Color Icon bronzer from Wet n Wild. This is going to be the next contour or bronzing thing that I pan, and I'm kind of thinking that I might bring this one in as well. Now, this guy I really like. It offers a beautiful sort of sheen to the skin without being like over the top highlighty or sparkly. It's just got a really soft glow. I think it's beautiful. However, I don't know if you can tell, but it's almost the same color as my skin. It is literally maybe 2 shades darker. So I'm thinking, once I finished my Thin Lizzy bronzer, it's in my project pan, which I love and adore, I'm going to bring this in to pan both of them. And I might bring this in as just like an all over face and body glow for the warmer months. I can't use this as an actual bronzer because it doesn't really add a lot of color to my face. Which, look, I feel like it looks like it should, but yeah, it's maybe just a shade or two darker than what I would use as a powder, but it also has a really beautiful glow. So I think I might sort of use these guys in conjunction with each other. So contour and bronze where I need color with this guy because it's a really useful color that way, and then add a bit of glow with this. With this powder over here, for me, it's a little bit yellow and a little bit dark for my current coloring, but it works quite well with the Becca powder that I recently showed you because the Becca powder oxidizes a little bit, and I think this will be better when we're a bit deeper into spring and summer. And yeah, I think that's going to be the only time that I'm actually going to get use out of these. I do like them as products. I think the, like, you know, Wet n Wild, good affordable brand, but good quality as well. So I definitely like to tackle them, and I think they would be good for me in summer. Butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. I actually didn't use this. I didn't use it. I was mostly focusing on the Wet n Wild stuff because I was trying to decide, like, am I going to commit to these? Am I going to commit to panning them? I'm going to take this out of my project, put it back in my collection. I'm not going to add another bronzer into this into my monthly makeup basket at this point because I really want to focus on the Thin Lizzy one. I want to get that done as soon as possible so I can start working on those Wet n Wild ones. Okay, palettes. So I had the Viseart Liaison palette and the Huda Beauty Neon, was it Neon Orange? I think it's Neon Orange. This palette here is fun. I personally don't feel like, for me at this point, I think maybe I like my eyeshadow to be a bit more muted, wearable, nana friendly kind of thing, but I do like a pop of color or a pop of sparkle. So when I try and use this palette as like a everyday one palette to make an eye look, I don't really like it. I'm like, this is too much for me at the moment. I'm channeling my nana. I'm not channeling this, but I do like it for a little pop of color. Maybe a little bit of like corally red along the lower lash line, or orange, or a little bit of yellow in the inner corner or something like that. I do like it for that, but I don't like trying to create full looks out of it. It's just not where my makeup desires are at this point. The Liaison palette, however, I really do enjoy, and I feel like, and don't get me wrong, I do enjoy this guy. It's just not, yeah, it's not a cohesive palette for me at this point. The Liaison palette is though, but what I'm finding is that I'm kind of moving away from these more sort of purpley tones. I feel like this is a bit more autumn and winter for me, and less spring and summer. But I do like to use a few tones while we're still having some rainy days and stuff like that. So this one I feel like is much more cohesive and like, you know, one palette for many looks sort of friendly. But I just feel like I'm moving away from these colors. Formula is great though. Like I really enjoy Viseart, their formula and their color stories. I think they're great. So, you know, definitely not decluttering it. It's just going to go back into the stash. And to be honest, I want brown palettes. Like I want to find a couple of brown palettes. Anastasia Beverly Hills Gradient Blush Kit. This is cool. This is actually fun and interesting. This one here is like a contour shade. Very surprising. Like, why is it green? Tell me I'm not the only person that sees like major green and olive tones in there. Ever since I saw the like marketing images of this, and I was like, why is it green? But it works. It actually works really well. I really like this blush palette. I do think this purple shade down here is too dark for me as like a, pretty much as anything, as like a blush or anything like that. It's just not quite right. And I do struggle a little bit with these two as well. If I'm really careful and I use a light hand, I can make it work. But I also need to make sure that I'm using a brush that really diffuses color, because these are insanely pigmented. Like when you pick them up on a brush, they're intense. And I know that they probably don't look like that there on the hand, but they have a lot of color payoff. But it's a fun palette. I do enjoy it. I've been having fun experimenting with it. And look, I might just leave it in here for now, because I kind of, every time I see it, I'm a little bit inspired to play with it. Another one I think I might leave in here is the Ofra Glow Up palette. All glowed up palette. So that's it there. I really like these. They have a lovely formula, and I thought that they would be like way too sort of blinding and, you know, just too Instagrammy highlight for me. But they're actually a really beautiful glowy highlighter. And I've been having fun playing with them. So I think I might just keep it in the project for now and continue experimenting with it. Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Look, I don't mind this. I think this is great if you've got dry skin. If you've got oily skin, you're probably not going to get along well with it. I think I said when I either said it or I was thinking it when I put it in the makeup basket last month. I want to actually try it as a priming spray, and I never got around to doing it. So I'm going to keep it in the basket for now. Here I have JD Glow liquid liners. I love these. These are probably my favorite colorful liners that I've ever used. They're just so fun. I'm going to pop them all back in my stash. I had a great time playing with them in August, but I think I want to have a little dig around and see if I've got some other ones that I want to play with. Otherwise, I might try and pan something, so I might focus on something else. But these were great fun. I think they're fantastic. I want more like this neon one, which is really fun, and I want some of their like glitter tubes, which I don't think are meant to be used as liners, but don't tell me what to do. So JD Glow, please restock and release more of everything because they're beautiful. Okay, last things in this drawer. This is a Brow Contour Pro from Benefit. So this is the one that's like, you know, you change the thingies. I like the formula of these. I think it's a great little idea, especially for brow products. My issues with it are there's like a, you know, a definer and a highlighter, which I just never really use. The lighter shade and the deeper shade for brows I do like, but I actually find the packaging, like the width of the packaging, to be a little bit of a hindrance when I'm doing my brows. Because this part is so big, it can kind of get in the way of seeing what I'm doing. But otherwise, I like it. I don't think it's a bad product. I just think because there's two parts of it that I don't really use and I just don't really find a purpose for it. Like, I know what they're meant to be used for, but it's not a part of my makeup routine. And I'm not going to make it a part of my makeup routine just because the pencil has it there. I feel like because of like not using half of it and the width of it being a little bit of a hindrance with visually seeing what I'm doing, I don't think this would be something that I would repurchase. I think I would use it, and I know I've got another one in my backup drawer and I would probably use that as well. But yeah, like I like it enough to want to use it and be happy with it, but I don't think I would buy another one. The Wet n Wild Color Icon Kohl eyeliners. Okay, so I need to face facts about these. I want to love these because they're huge. They're going to last forever, and I like the colors. Like this bronzy sort of gold shade. Oh, it is pretty. The purple is also pretty, but like the purple I have a really hard time with. For starters, getting it to actually transfer onto my skin, majorly problematic. Secondly, it doesn't stay on my skin at all. So that one's got to go. And this one, while I can get it to transfer quite easily, it's got a nice smooth formula. Again, it doesn't last. So I feel like I'm putting it on and within an hour or so, it's gone. And I don't see the point. I would prefer to have one really, really good pencil that does last on my waterline or on my lower lash line and just use that and repurchase it over and over rather than have 5 or 6 that just don't work for me when it comes to longevity. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to declutter these guys. Then I have the NYX Wonder Pencil. Didn't use it once. It can stay in. I'll play with it some more. And this one is the Beauty People Super Waterproof Gel Eyeliner Pencil in Glimmer Burgundy. I actually had a really hard time with this, and I don't know why. I had a hard time getting this to blend anytime I applied it. So, look, I'm going to keep it in for another month. Have a play with it. It might have been that the brushes I was trying to use was just not not appropriate for what I was trying to do. I probably should have used like little synthetic pencil brushes, and I was trying to use like little, you know, tiny little eyeshadow packing brushes basically, which probably too flimsy. So I should be a bit more mindful of that. But I am going to hold on to it just for now, have a little play with it because it's a gorgeous color. I didn't bother filming in my drawers while I pulled this stuff out because the room's a bit of a mess and I just want to get this filmed so I can go inside and edit it. But I have a little case of goodies here that I want to play with. The palette. I chose the Winky Luxe Coffee palette because I said I wanted some brown stuff. This is very brown. Great. But I did notice in one of my drawers, I have a whole bunch of like Colourpop things that are sort of new in my life. Some I purchased, some from PR, and I thought I should actually play with them before they get thrown into my collection of standard stuff and I forget about them. So I brought in a whole bunch of colorful things and something that was really, really bland. So I've got a good balance of both. I also decided to play with the Stila Heaven's Hue highlighter in Kitten. So this is one of the putty highlighters. There it is. So I'll have a play with that, see what I think of it. I have two pigments here. These are from a brand called Sarazar. And I have a blue one, which I do not recall what it's called, but they're pretty magical. It's kind of hard for me to show you how they look, but they're like full on like gorgeous pigments. And I have this one which is ethereal, and this is like a proper holographic pigment. It's meant to be eye safe as well, so I want to have a play with them, see what they're all about. And then I have the Milk Kush brow gel. I figured I would try this out. So this is it's called Hydro, and it's like just a clear shade. Excuse me, birds, be quiet. They're not even my bloody birds, they're outdoor birds. I have some glitter liners from Innisfree. So these are the I think twinkle glitter liners. I've got like an orange, a pink and a purple. Figured I'd play with them. I haven't had them for a while. I haven't even played with them. And these guys, these are the Shuamora water paint ink, or is it water ink? Hang on. Yeah, water paint ink. So these again are colored pen liners, purple, blue, red. I've got them swatched here and they don't look like much. I feel like when you swatch these, they don't look like they'd be bold enough to really show up as a defining eyeliner, but somehow when they're actually on the eye, it's like they transform and they've got enough richness and depth of pigment and color to help define the eye and look like you've actually got an eyeliner on. So they're really interesting. And look, problematic. I've had them for a little while, not too long. Like I got them this year, but because they're pens, they're going to dry out quicker than a standard liner. And if I don't get some use out of them, I'm going to be upset when I go to use them one day and they're dried out. But I don't think realistically I'm going to be able to pan them all before they do dry out. So I'm going to chuck these in the project now, or in the monthly makeup basket now, and then at the end of the month I think I might throw them into my project pan, or I don't know, something. I don't know, but I think I want to try and focus on these and get some good use out of them before they've got to go. All right, so that is a pretty sad looking makeup basket, but I'm really in the panning zone at the moment, so I don't want to add things like bronzers or powders because I want to focus on the ones I'm working on. I didn't add an extra blush, but I've got these guys, and I still want to make some progress on the blush that's in my project pan. So basically I just went for color and things that I played with. Hang on, I don't want to keep this in here for now. No, you can go out. Yeah, so I think I'll just keep things as they are like this for now. And yeah, try to smash out the project pan stuff. Yeah, let's just go with this. I think that feels easy for me. That makes me feel comfortable. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this little update to my monthly makeup basket. If you see anything here that you've tried and you love, or you don't like it, or you got feels about it, let me know down in the comments section, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.